Braxton and Mendices was tiptoeing around Atlanta together. Andy Smith got word of it, found them.
And you doing all the fucking in the room. We had a flat. The wall separated my bed and your bed. I'm listening. I can't answer the phone for my boyfriend, and I'm listening.
And now the truth prevails because Tamar, what the hell you mean you woke up in a pool of blood and don't remember what the hell happened to you? Let's make this clear real fucking quick. When a story don't make sense at all, there's something being withheld. And for her to come on this platform expressing how she woke up in a pool of blood and don't know what happened to her, you're lying. And it's clear you're trying to control the damage that you caused. Now we know why you woke up with a fractured nose and had to reach out to Dr. Heavenly. And now we also know why Funky Deneva said, I don't know what happened to that.
The drama surrounding Tamar Braxton has been intense, unpredictable, and at times heartbreaking. Fans have been on a roller coaster ride trying to figure out what's really happening in her life as the headlines keep piling up. Over the past few weeks, Tamar has shocked her supporters by canceling her highly anticipated album, announcing she's retreating to her farm, posting emotional messages, and deleting her social media accounts only to return again. Add to that the swirling rumors about her injuries, her strained relationship with her sisters, and her feud with Funky Denva, and you've got a storm that has left fans more confused than ever. Tonight, we're diving deep into everything that's gone down, the public fallout, the family tensions, the accusations, and what it could all mean for Tamar's future. Tamar's decision to suddenly cancel her album and step away from the industry caught everyone off guard. Just days before, she had been teasing new music, even hinting at an EP called Heartbreak Retrograde that was set to feature collaborations with artists like Mendes. Fans were excited and speculating about the sound and direction she was heading in. But instead of dropping new material, Tamar released a heartfelt apology and announced she was leaving it all behind. She said she was going back to her farm, stepping away from the limelight, and retreating into her own world. For many, this announcement sounded final, like Tamar was done with fame for good. But for others, it raised red flags. Was this a genuine need for space, or just another dramatic move in a long cycle of exits and returns? What made things more complicated was that Tamar had also shared that she suffered serious injuries around the same time, including a fractured nose and dental damage. She didn't give many details about how it happened, which naturally sent fans and gossip blogs into overdrive. Speculation ran rampant online, with some people pointing fingers, others defending her, and many just expressing worry. For Tamar, who has always been open and unfiltered about her struggles, the silence on this incident stood out. And that silence is exactly what led to the next wave of drama involving Funky Denva. Blogger and commentator Funky Denva suddenly found himself pulled into the storm after rumors online linked him to Tamar's injuries. People speculated that something happened after they were spotted together at V12 nightclub and later hanging out with friends. Funky quickly denied the rumors, saying he left the group and went home alone, just like any other night. According to him, he only found out about Tamar's hospitalization through social media, the same way the rest of the world did. But here's where things got messy. Funky claims that while Tamar was well aware of the rumors circulating online, she never once stepped up to defend him or clear his name. He argued that Tamar watches public conversations about her closely and definitely knew people were accusing him. Yet, while he was being dragged online, Tamar was posting about being in the hospital and even promoting her upcoming EP, a project that ironically featured him in a trailer. To Funky, this felt like a slap in the face. He believed he was being used as a pawn in what he called a publicity stunt, with his name left to be tarnished in the process. The situation hurt him deeply. He said fans tore him apart during his birthday weekend, and while he tried to reach out to Tamar privately, she responded with confusion, saying she didn't know what was going on and was focused on her recovery. To Funky, this wasn't enough. He felt betrayed, abandoned, and ultimately blamed Tamar for letting the rumors snowball unchecked. His frustration struck a chord with many people who felt Tamar should have at least spoken up to protect someone she called a friend. But others argued that Tamar was going through too much personally to manage the public's perception of someone else. Either way, the feud added another layer of tension to an already chaotic moment in her life. Of course, Tamar's drama doesn't end with Funky Denva. Long before this latest wave of chaos, her family relationships had been strained. Fans of Braxton family values have seen glimpses of the tension between Tamar and her sisters, especially Tawanda. During a past therapy session with grief counselor Spirit, Tamar accused Tawanda of not being genuinely connected to her. She claimed Tawanda only reached out when the cameras were rolling, while maintaining stronger bonds with Toni and Trina. Tawanda, for her part, pushed back, but Tamar was insistent that she felt left out and unsupported within the family unit. These family fractures resurfaced recently in a bigger way when Tamar clashed with her sisters over her niece Ashley. Ashley wanted to speak on the show about uncomfortable experiences she had endured involving a family member's partner. Tamar supported her niece and insisted her voice should not be silenced, especially when the family already had a history of sweeping sensitive issues under the rug. But according to Tamar, her sisters weren't on board. She even claimed they threatened to boycott filming if Ashley or her father, Kevin Sr., appeared on the show. For Tamar, this was deeply frustrating. She felt it was hypocritical for her sisters to continue associating with certain individuals while trying to prevent Ashley from speaking her truth. This disagreement widened the rift between Tamar and her family. While Toni reportedly tried to remain neutral, Tamar doubled down on her support for Ashley, even as it created more friction. And for fans who have followed the Braxtons for years, this wasn't surprising. Family tension has always been at the center of their dynamic, but in this case, Tamar appeared to be more isolated than ever. As all of this unfolded, Tamar appeared to reach a breaking point. On social media, she began posting emotional and cryptic messages about toxic family dynamics, gaslighting, and her struggles to keep going. At one point, she even suggested she was returning to treatment, writing about praying for her marriage to be saved and her life spared. Shortly after, she deleted both her Instagram and X accounts, only to reactivate them a day later. The instability worried fans. People wondered whether Tamar was genuinely going through a mental health crisis or whether the public displays were another form of reaching out for attention. Around the same time, she confirmed her breakup with JR, adding heartbreak to an already stressful moment. Things got worse when she shared surveillance footage of her car being broken into at her apartment complex. In the caption, she admitted she no longer felt safe, didn't have a permanent home, and was exhausted from the constant instability in her life. This mixture of personal crises, public announcements, and sudden disappearances created a picture of someone spiraling. For her fans, the pattern was all too familiar. Tamar has had public breakdowns before, and each time she promises to retreat, she eventually returns. The question this time is whether this cycle is sustainable or if she truly needs a long-term break from fame. Public opinion is now deeply divided. On one hand, some fans feel Tamar is in genuine pain. They see her emotional posts, her fractured family relationships, and her constant battles with online rumors as signs that she's overwhelmed and struggling to cope. They argue that the entertainment industry can be brutal and Tamar might just be someone who feels things more deeply than most. For these fans, the solution is clear. Tamar needs to step away, focus on her healing, and come back only when she's ready. On the other hand, critics argue that Tamar thrives on drama and has built a career around stirring attention. They point out that she has repeatedly announced she was quitting music or retreating from the spotlight, only to reappear shortly after with new projects. To them, this latest meltdown feels like a continuation of that cycle, with publicity and attention being part of the goal. They also highlight how the Funky Denva situation looked orchestrated, at least from the outside, because his appearance in her EP teaser came right after the rumors exploded online. This split perception makes it difficult to separate what is real from what is performative. And maybe that's the point. Tamar has always been unfiltered, emotional, and unpredictable. That's part of what makes her captivating, but it's also what makes moments like this so concerning. When you zoom out, Tamar Braxton's story is about more than just online drama or family arguments. It's about a woman who has lived her life under public scrutiny for years, constantly balancing fame, personal struggles, and family tension. Fame has amplified every disagreement, every rumor, every bad decision. For Tamar, the highs have been very high: chart-topping music, hit reality shows, and loyal fans. But the lows have also been devastating, with public meltdowns, fractured relationships, and constant speculation about her mental health. The pattern seems clear. Tamar goes through a crisis, announces a retreat, reconciles with her family or fans in some way, and then returns to the spotlight. But each cycle appears to be more intense than the last. And now, with her niece Ashley speaking out, her sisters pushing back, her friendships strained, and her fans worried. Tamar may finally have to decide whether stepping away is truly the best option for her future. At the end of the day, Tamar Braxton remains one of the most captivating, complicated, and talked about figures in entertainment. Whether you believe she's genuinely struggling or orchestrating her own narrative for attention, there's no denying that people care and that they're watching closely. Her decision to cancel her album and retreat to her farm might be temporary, or it might be the beginning of a bigger change in her life. Whatever happens, fans are hoping she finds the peace, healing, and stability she's been searching for. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Tamar is truly overwhelmed and in need of a serious break? Or do you believe this is another dramatic chapter in a cycle we've seen before? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it.